Belize City under a state of emergency. And in sport, Trinidad and Tobago grouped with football giants Mexico and USA in the preliminary round of the CONCACAF Women's Championship. I'm Ricardo Roberts and this is Caribbean in 10 for Thursday, September 6. I'll be back with the details after the break.
This hurricane tip comes to you compliments the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Media Corporation. Be prepared. When you are preparing for a hurricane, remember to help your family, neighbors, and community prepare also.
Try to understand, because it's very important that
Yes.
people understand how you can influence positively
Yes.
the change of law. What were your arguments for the minimum wage to be 10.10, was it?
Yep.
10.10.
So, we believe fundamentally that hard work deserves fair pay. And when we are paying workers $7.25 an hour,
The Belize government has announced a state of emergency in the south side of Belize City as it seeks to deal with escalating gun violence in the area, in which left at least 6 people dead last weekend. Governor General Sir Colville Norbert Young signed the statutory instrument allowing it to take effect in 2 of 5 previously identified hotspots. The state of emergency is in effect for an initial 30-day period, but National Security Minister John Saldivar said he is prepared to go to the Parliament to seek an extension as law enforcement agencies seek to get a handle on gang violence in the area. The House of Representatives would have to approve such an extension. Under the state of emergency, police and other agencies have the authority to incarcerate gang members and their affiliates from the 2 identified areas for 30 days without charging them for any crime. So far, more than 100 people have been detained. But opposition leader John Briceño says a state of emergency is not the solution to the crime problem in Belize City, and he has urged the Dean Barrow administration to undertake a comprehensive and holistic approach to addressing the socio-economic difficulties being faced by South Side residents. Well, over in Jamaica now, the parliamentary opposition is maintaining that the government will have to present more convincing evidence to get its support for a further extension of the states of emergency in St. James and the St. Catherine North Police Division. Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson on Tuesday night said he was in favor of an extension, saying that while the measures are not a long-term strategy, lawmen have been getting more results with less effort. But opposition spokesman on national security Fitz Jackson believes there is a downside to the state of emergency and other anti-crime measures should be sought and implemented. He says the easiest way out in one regard might not be the best overall, and the opposition wants to be satisfied that there is no way else to get crime under control. The state of public emergency was implemented in St. James in January and in the St. Catherine North Division in March. Both have been extended by Parliament. Now, Jackson raised concern about the negative impact of the states of emergency on businesses in the 2 parishes. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is appealing to voters in Antigua and Barbuda to support the move towards replacing the London-based Privy Council with the Trinidad-based Caribbean Court of Justice as the island's final court, and that's even though his own country has not gone that route. Citizens of Antigua and Barbuda will vote in a referendum on November 6th on acceding to the CCJ's appellate jurisdiction. And Gonsalves says it's not about politics, contending that no one would vote for the Twin Island Nation's Prime Minister Gaston Brown in the next elections on the basis that he can get the CCJ as the island's final court.
And I'm asking the people of Antigua and Barbuda to support the CCJ in the referendum. It's not about Gaston Brown. This doesn't add any luster to Gaston Brown. What adds luster is the creation of jobs, the bringing of investment, the making of people's material lives better, better education and health and all the rest of these things. The CCJ doesn't, the next election, nobody's going to vote for Gaston Brown because he wins a referendum for the CCJ. Not a soul is going to vote for him for that. You know, this is a matter of overall national interest.
And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next. Trinidad and Tobago will face a tough preliminary round campaign after being drawn in a difficult Group 4A for the CONCACAF Women's Championship, which is starting next month. The CONCACAF Women's Championship, which runs from October 4th to the 17th, will be played at 3 venues: the Shaylands Stadium in Cary, North Carolina, the Hebb Park in Edinburgh, Texas, and Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. Now, in the draw staged in Miami on Tuesday, Trinidad and Tobago found themselves placed alongside powerhouses United States and Mexico, along with Panama from the Central American region. Trinidad and Tobago raised the curtain on the tournament with a clash against Panama in Cary before taking on Mexico on October 7th and the U.S. 3 days later at the same venue. Meanwhile, Group B will see Jamaica up against 2014 losing finalist Costa Rica, along with Canada and Cuba. Jamaica qualified after dominating the Caribbean zone of qualifiers, which finished last week, playing unbeaten to head the standings ahead of Trinidad and Tobago and Cuba, who finished second and third respectively. The Jamaicans face Canada in their opener on October 5th, then take on Costa Rica 3 days later before closing out their preliminary round campaign against Cuba on October 11th. Group A will be hosted at Hebb Park. And still in football now, Bermuda captain Reggie Lamb scored his first goal for Cambridge United on Tuesday night, but it proved only a consolation as they suffered a 3-1 defeat at the hands of Southend United in an English Football League trophy match at Roots Hall. The 27-year-old winger Lamb gave his visitors the lead with a close-range header in the 52nd minute from a Giovanni Brown cross, but Cambridge's lead was short-lived. Sean Mikulski levelled in the 55th minute and put Southend ahead in the 64th minute before a third from Isaac Hutchinson in the 83rd minute wrapped up the victory for the League One outfit against their League Two opponents. Lamb will miss Cambridge's home league match against his former club on Saturday, as he will be leading Bermuda in the opening CONCACAF Nations League qualifier against Aruba on Sunday. Bermuda officials said the match has been moved to the Stadion Irigo Hato in Curacao because Aruba's home venue is unavailable. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.